The sunset lesbian flag, less commonly known as the orange-pink flag, is the most popular flag for lesbians representing themselves in their community. Created by Tumblr blogger Emily Gwen in 2018 and widely popularized by a later poll on the same website, it's the flag most people visualize when thinking about the current lesbian community. It's unfortunate that the person most widely credited for creating the flag, Emily Gwen, is a liar. She did not make the flag. She stole it, used the popularity and audience that she got from stealing it to beg for money for years online, lied about her financial situation for pity and money, and here's a video explaining the Google Doc and every allegation against her as posted on Twitter in the past 2 or 3 days. Emily Gwen's main Twitter account, @TheEmilyGwen, was first activated in 2019. Since then, they've mostly been using it to beg for money from their audience, usually through Kofi donations. She's consistently posted about the issues involving her homelessness, bills, and/or being unable to find a job or work. The problem is how often she's posted stuff along these lines. And from what I've found, she's made 11 total posts since May 19th of 2025. That might not sound like a lot, but a user on Twitter, Blueberry96, did the math on Emily's now closed Kofi back before it was closed down. Using Chrome's built-in word finder, they managed to find at least 17,000 or over 17,000 instances of people supporting her. Emily had her donations automatically set to donate $5 when you supported her, which is where the number 86,000 came from. Even if everyone who had donated to her since 2024 only donated $8, she'd still have over $10,000 from e-begging online, which in my opinion is still ridiculous, especially considering she usually posts about how the creator of a lesbian flag is homeless or the creator of the lesbian flag needs your help, but we'll come back to that. She could have easily refuted the Kofi claim by making her Kofi claims public and showing a record of how much people have actually donated to her, but she hasn't done that, and when Blueberry requested it, she ignored it. In December, she stated she was going to use the goal feature so the donation progress was clear to anyone who supported her, which is a great segue into the next point about her Kofi, that being that she regularly resets goals to rack in as much money as possible, which is something you can do when you're working on a goal, which is, she usually set them to around over $2,000 for various stuff like homelessness, finding a job, putting down the first bit of rent. Unfortunately, her Kofi is down because she deleted everything after it blew up on her. So all we have are these screenshots as of the 2024 Kofi. Emily Gwen regularly stated that the Kofi money she received went directly into her friend's PayPal. The PayPal linked to her Kofi belongs to a certain Julia Gorst, as shown in this receipt here. Julia has a blog on Tumblr @ThePoetryLesbian, and I know that it's Julia Gorst because the Instagram account linked in her, or the Instagram account in her bio leads to another person whose name is Julia Gorst. So I'm pretty sure this is Julia Gorst. Many others have come to the conclusion that Emily and Julia are the same person, mostly because of the similarities between the two of them. Poetry Lesbian, or Julia, is a 28-year-old lesbian blogger located in Brisbane, Australia. How do I know this? Again, from her Instagram account. On her Instagram and Tumblr account, she posted several things that raised red flags, including posts about her father's ties to Dubai. I'm gonna butt in here. I'm not butting in because I'm still recording, but I should mention that around this time, I found a screenshot that's alleged to be Julia talking about how her father had a normal job in Dubai and that she'd only been to Dubai a couple of times, whatever that means. I don't see any username in the screenshot though, so it's just a wall of text, so this isn't really, I don't think it really counts as proof of anything. I just figured it would be important to add, or not important, but I figured I'd add it anyway, because it's part of the allegations against her. Her father's ties to Dubai are not really important in the actual Dubai sense, but Dubai is a place of luxury, and if Julia and Emily are the same person, than posting about how rich your parents are while also being like, yeah, I can't make rent is, it's possible that her parents aren't paying her rent, except for the post that she made on Tumblr that literally says her father pays her rent at the moment because she doesn't have a job. In this Tumblr post, you can see that she claims her mother owns a townhouse. In this one, you can see that she was preparing a Father's Day gift for her dad, and again mentions of her father covering her rent. Emily, on the other hand, has made public posts that are very much the opposite of Julia's. Very much on the opposite end of Julia. She's made comments about how her father was abusive and homophobic, regularly posted about getting kicked out of her house by him, which was a reason for her homelessness in a lot of situations. And the reason that Emily refuses to post her face or real information online is for fear of him stalking her. Both are 28 to 29-year-old lesbians in Brisbane, Australia. Maybe a coincidence, as Emily claims they were friends at one point, but are no longer in much contact, despite the fact that Julia's PayPal has been getting Emily's Kofi donations for 8 years now. As for further depth, here's a post from Emily celebrating the concert tickets at the same time complaining about how expensive being alive is on Twitter. Tickets for Hosier concert. I managed to find the records of the concert I believe she went to. This one, not only is it taking place in Brisbane, but it's also within a reasonable time to buy tickets, since usually for concerts you do them months in advance. This particular concert was playing on November 18th, and I found a page that was selling tickets for it. Obviously, ticket prices depend a lot on certain stuff, but I'm pretty sure that anyone knows that concert tickets are rather expensive. A lot of people were using this claim on Twitter as people being against poor people having fun. And while I agree how that seems to be the case, a month before going to the concert, or a month before buying the tickets for the concert, Emily was seen posting here about how she had trouble affording groceries and needed help with this rent, or needed help with this bill, at least $5. Julia seems well off in comparison to Emily. I mean, we already talked about how her mother bought a townhouse, her father takes trips or used to work in Dubai. Certainly not homeless or struggling to afford rent like Emily, right? But here's where the 2017 Tumblr accounts come in. On multiple accounts, someone has been posting about begging for money online for various reasons. Either because they were in dire need of help, their mother needed insulin, I think the grandmother being sick was the one that Emily posted. But there are a few different posts from a few different Tumblr accounts that all link Julia Gorst's PayPal as the one they want people to donate to, which pretty much, it kind of proves that that's Julia, right? Because why on earth would you beg for money to be sent to a PayPal account that you don't have ownership over or don't have access to? I found another Tumblr while I was writing the script, and the link goes to the same PayPal, so I'm also adding... Oh, this one is archived. There's also 2 others that are archived, so I'll put both of the links to those in the description below, so you can see the posts for yourself. I don't want to bring up the father working in Dubai thing, but if her father was working in Dubai, it would probably be around the time she was begging for money online. Julia has a history of going under different names while still using the same PayPal link. Julia has a history of begging for money under various alternate accounts, and people cannot have more than one personal PayPal as per PayPal regulations. Although you can have a business account, although I'd like to specify that the Julia Gorst PayPal is a personal one and not a business one. They have the same love for Snoopy, which sounds really specific, but Emily uses Snoopy in both her Kofi and Blue Sky, and Julia's main Tumblr account is also a Snoopy profile picture. As this screenshot states, as stated by Emily herself, they have the same shipping address. Kind of weird to have such a rich friend who doesn't help you sort out homelessness aside from the use of her shipping address and PayPal, right? There's also this screenshot in which Emily clearly states her real name is not Emily under the comment section of one of her own posts. I just thought that was okay, I don't even know what to say at this point. Even if you still don't believe they're the same person, you can admit this is extremely suspicious. And as of right now, Emily hasn't posted any sort of explanation for where the money is going, tells people to stop harassing her friend, and as of writing this, she hasn't shown the video proof people have been asking for her. As I'm reading this, she also hasn't shown any sort of video proof, but she has updated her Twitter. She made 2 posts, which is also important to me because after a night of inactivity from both the Lesbian Poetry account and the Emily Gwen account, they both both resumed activity around the same time to be like, nuh-uh, you guys, that's totally not true. Julia and Emily are stated to live in the same city, by both of them, mind you, and people requested that they simply record a video together to prove that they're 2 separate people, especially because we already know what Julia looks like from her profile on her previously public Instagram. Even though her account is still private, as of right now, you should be able to look at her profile, and if not, I have a screenshot of it anyway. So we know what Julia looks like, and since Emily is claiming that her and Julia are separate people, people's logic is that if Emily just records a video of herself or posts a picture of herself, it would be an easy way to dispute the fact that she and Julia are the same person, because obviously, if she's not Julia, she's probably not going to look like Julia. This last point I'd bring up isn't as devastating as stealing money from your audience, but I think it's still important. Emily Gwen did not make the Sunset Lesbian Flag. The actual uncredited creators are @ButchSpace and @Shapeshifter of Constellations on Tumblr. Here's the flag Shapeshifter made with the inspiration from ButchSpace. Emily merely took the design and flipped it upside down. The person who made the Google document, Blueberries96, hex-coded them, and they're both literally the same color. What's important about this is that the initial lipstick lesbian flag has different shades of purple or magenta than the ones that Constellations used for her version of the flag. Emily claims to have taken it straight from the lipstick lesbian flag, when in reality, her hex codes match that of Shapeshifter of Constellations. Obviously, you can still chalk that up to a coincidence, but really? Shapeshifter's post dates back to 2017, and I have proof of this because I went through Shapeshifter's account and found the original post. She said she edited the colors from the lipstick flag, but still made it the same, style, because she wanted butch people to feel included, so she included colors from both the lipstick flag and the butch flag together, which is how the sunset one was created. Emily's flag matches Shapeshifter's to the hex codes, the only difference being that Emily flipped it upside down and posted it to her Tumblr a year after the fact, and that one happened to be the one to blow up. I feel like stealing credit for a flag isn't as bad as stealing money from your audience, but I still want to bring it up, mostly because the whole reason Emily was able to steal this much, or not technically steal, because they did give it to her, scam this much out of her audience is because they thought that they were helping someone who was an important part of the lesbian community. I copied the link and put it in the description. All of the links for most of the stuff is going to be in the description, unless they're screenshots that I showed in the video. Everyone can see for themselves the original post of the lesbian flag being created, including the colors for the black lesbian flag. As stated from Blueberry's Google Doc, which I'm going to read word for word for this part because I feel like they put it in a better way than I could. Now, I want you to put this all into context. In 2017, ButchSpace created the Butch Lesbian Flag, which was then used by Shapeshifter of Constellations along with the Femme Flag to create the Sunset Lesbian Flag design that everybody knows of. A year later, Sad Lesbian Disaster, aka Emily Gwen, took the flag design and flipped it upside down, thinking nothing of it. But once it accidentally blew up, she immediately took full credit for it. The meaning, the history, and the community effort were all buried so Gwen can spotlight herself for years and years as the Emily Gwen, the person who created the lesbian flag, who so gracefully allows you to use her design freely and therefore the only one deserving of getting any royalties out of it. While Emily Gwen has received thousands of dollars in donations over the course of the years, to my knowledge, Butch Space and Shapeshifter of Constellations remain completely uncredited for their contributions to the flag, which kind of sucks considering how much Emily Gwen was able to make by not doing anything other than flipping it. I'd like to mention that while all the recent stuff, the big blowing up of it, has been in the past 2 or 3 days, there have been people dating, like, way far back scrutinizing her for not creating the flag, constantly begging for money and doing a whole bunch of other shit. It's just that until now, it hasn't blown up and hit a wider audience on how much this is going on. This is still a somewhat ongoing issue, as Julia has not posted the video that she said she would, which, would be the easiest way to clear up this accusations and all the drama surrounding it. Both Julia and Emily's accounts have come back online. I already said that. Right now, Emily's Twitter account is dropping followers, and she's, quote, working on disproving the claims about their donations. So, that's about as much as I have right now talking about everything, although I probably will end up updating because, well, I mean, clearly this is still ongoing, or, I don't really have an outro. I'll link everything in the description below, so you can find the links for Emily's Twitter, or Julia's old accounts begging for money on Twitter, or Tumblr that link back to the same PayPal. And mind you, the PayPal link still works. Like, it's still a PayPal link that works. So if you don't believe me, you can go to the website and click on the PayPal link yourself, and it should bring you back to Julia Gorst. At least from, like, 3 or 4 times I've pressed the same link on the same websites, and it's brought me back to the same thing. I don't know if by the time this video gets out, Julia Gorst is gonna close her PayPal, or at least make a dead link, or make the PayPal me link die, which I'm pretty sure you can only do if you delete your PayPal, or something like that, I'm not sure. But yeah, anyway.